Brighton role today, isn't it? Well, it looks like he's gone back to a back four. From what I've seen, and from line-up, you'd think so. Average Dykes. Get them all off. You know, they're keeping him on Armstrong. Might be 7th time lucky. Fucking hell. Does look like it's him. With black coat on.
Blackburn Rovers replacing number 7 Mark Sigerson. Number 18 Dylan Candy. Blackburn Rovers replacing number 10 Tyrese Dolan.
Did you not see him?
Number 44 Yasin Ayari.
This has been the shittest 10 minutes of my life. He'll just blink. You've seen it 2 goals of fucking Mark Candy's gone.
Jesus Christ. Dylan's going to save us. I inspired him.
Operation Blackburn Rovers are sponsored by Godley Consulting Limited. It's number 9, Sam Gallagher.
Jesus Christ.
Why can't any come cross the ball?
Lovely. Not even got a decent PA system. He was decent at 44. Well. I apologise for the lack of content on that vlog, but to be honest with you, from a Rovers perspective, there was not a whole lot to vlog today. Absolutely woeful. We've made QPR a side down there with us, and after today's performance, I can officially say we are in a relegation fight. Look, class. That Armstrong who was up front for them, if he could shoot, he'd be dangerous. My God. The pace, he must have had 6, I think I counted 6 clear-cut chances for one goal. You know, 1-on-1s or 2-on-1s, something like that. And yeah, thankfully he squandered every single one, else today would have been embarrassing. If he had, if he was Adam Armstrong, it could have quite easily been 5-6-0 today. Well, 5-6-1, I suppose. Just embarrassing from top to bottom, this club. I'm just lost for words. That first half was horrendous. We had one chance from JRC, which gets absolutely rocketed into the away crowd. Smodics was missing. Sigurdsson missing. Gallagher done his weekly cardio today. Why we didn't sell him to Ipswich for a couple of million with 6 months left, a player who's underperformed the entire time he's been here on a permanent basis, is beyond me. But yeah, just absolutely pathetic today. We've gone to a back five the past couple of games, played Wrexham, albeit Wrexham, but we've played them off the park with a back five. And for whatever reason, we go back to a back four today, which hasn't worked for months. And look at the result. Just not good enough. We just cannot defend. We are so open. And playing Moran, who has underperformed for months at this point in his actual natural position as a winger and an attacking midfielder, deciding to play him as a deep-lying midfielder and be the Adam Wharton replacement is laughable. He's pathetic. He's been dire now for months. And it's not just him. Smodics today, nothing. Gallagher, nothing. Sigurdsson, nothing. Another player who's been missing for months at this point. I think genuinely the only player who can hold their head held high after today will probably be Dom Hyam. And I thought someone who actually impressed was that Izari, the 44, the midfielder. I thought he'd come on and I thought he actually looked positive. Actually wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck and actually try and get us a goal. In terms of off the pitch, I think it has to be time to go for JDT. I think he can feel aggrieved. I think he can feel hard done by. But quite simply, I do not think he has it in him for a relegation fight. He's not got that experience. He's not got the play style that we need to be in a relegation fight. We need to be defensively sound. We need to have passion and a bit of fight. And these players are just showing none of that. Unfortunately, I think it just has to be a parting of ways. And the comments that are coming out from him at this point, it's just untenable. It's just toxic. He clearly, in my eyes anyway, is pushing to be sacked. I would assume he doesn't want to walk. He wants to be paid off and booted out the door. I feel sorry for him in some regards. If we'd have got 9 last season, we make playoffs. He makes that point difference. I can almost guarantee that. We could have even made a semi-final of the FA Cup because, I question, is he on the pitch when Tyler Morton costs us that final goal? The summer, we lose Diaz, Dak, Ayala. 2 injury-prone players there, but bags of goal in Diaz and Dak. And in return, we spend £1 million on a backup goalkeeper and a third-choice striker. Just disgraceful. This window just gone, 500k spent, £22 million brought in. It's ridiculous, and I can understand why he's fuming, because it's been 3 terrible transfer windows when you paint it in the cold hard light of day. And yes, I think some of the business we've done on frees and loans, I think getting Fleck in on a free is a brilliant bit of business for 6 months. But when you put it in the cold hard light of day of the cash we've spent and how we were 1 point off playoffs last season and we should be again this season pushing for playoffs, and we've spent £1.5 million in 2 windows, is nothing short of embarrassing. It's not good enough, and he's obviously been sold a project, JDT, when he's come in. We spent money when he come in. Smodics, Hyam, I'm missing some players off the top of my head, but we've spent money, and clearly the project is no more. It's come out in a Lanks Telegraph interview that's just been done. He offered to walk in the summer after the bombshell of no money being able to spend due to the problems in India. He offered to walk. What sort of message does that send to the players that he wanted to walk? That he was offering to walk, and obviously the board have denied it or convinced him to stay. He's constantly bitching and whining about the players, saying how we need more in, which is true, but what does that message kind of send to the players? That they're not good enough, he doesn't rate them, and we need someone to come in and make these players feel good about themselves, make them known that this is a squad that should be nowhere near that relegation zone. We've got the league's top goal scorer, for fuck's sakes, and we're dangling just above the relegation zone now. 2 points from Rotherham, QPR and Huddersfield at home is disgraceful in his relegation form. And, it just shows, doesn't it? They're clearly up for the fight and we're not. To have those 3 games at home and come away with 2 points is abhorrent, and it just says to me the writing's on the wall. It's untenable. He cannot carry on. And as much as, last season we were punching above our weight to finish within a point of the playoffs, he did a good job. I think we have to remember where we were and the fall off, and ever since it's just not picked back up again, unfortunately. In terms of replacements, I think Neil Warnock would be perfect, but he would probably laugh at us if we tried bringing him in after obviously Owen Coyle coming in, and we interviewed Warnock and everything, and we went with Coyle because I believe from what I know it was a cheaper option, so he would probably laugh at us. But we need someone to just come in and basically save our season, give him a 6-month contract, and then if we want to carry on with him, we carry on with him. If not, we bring in someone who can be a project manager like JDT, but it's essential that we stay in this league. I think a Eustace, who was obviously very hard done by at Birmingham, could be somewhat of a project manager, but also a manager who could come in and save the season. And another name I would just chuck out there, which would never ever happen, but I know he's a manager who is still looking for a chance, is Roy Keane. I think Roy Keane has all the elements we could possibly ask for as a leader to come in and turn some of these boys into men. Use the likes of Fleck, McFadden, Hyam, Smodics to be leaders on and off the pitch and just make us hard to beat, essentially. Because at this moment, we are the exact opposite. The fact we are the worst defence in the league, after being probably one of the best defences last season, is shocking. And I don't know how it's happened. But I do know how it's happened. It's because we are persisting with a pass style of football, which we do not have the players of quality to be able to play, to be able to keep the ball, to be able to make those incisive passes at the right time, to pull the trigger, to actually have a fucking shot. What would be nice. We do not have the quality to play that football in this league. We can do it against Wrexham, but in this league, against other championship sides, which has been proved the past couple of months, we cannot play it. And all that keeps happening is pass, lose it, get counted on. And as seen today with Armstrong, how many times did he have chances? And he should have punished us. It should have been way more than 2-1. And it's just a case of trying to play a style of football we cannot play and just constantly getting caught on the counter. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. We need to change the style of football, but under JDT, that is just not going to happen. He is not going to compromise his style of football. He has made that very clear. The fact we are still playing the same tactics as we have been for the past couple of months, which is the definition of insanity in my mind. And he's even been on press conferences saying he will not compromise his style of football. It's a kind of do or die attitude. It's an attitude of, we keep at it and it'll just click eventually. It is not clicking, JDT, and we have lost the players who are capable of playing this style of football from last season. It's just not feasible anymore. And in terms of the ownership and the backroom staff, if Maguire falls through, which it seems he has, people need sacking. For O9 to fall through last season, which cost us playoffs, for Maguire to fall through this season, which could be a signing that, if falls through, potentially sees us relegated in the cold, hard light of day. To mess the player about like that, to mess O9 about like that last season, a player who was looking for a loan, wanted to play football, and we basically made him sit on the Notts Forest bench again for 6 months. He wanted to play football, he wanted to come to Rovers, apply himself. Obviously, this lad has wanted to come to the English game, wanted to play for Rovers, could have quite easily gone to Sheffield Wednesday. And we're just a joke on and off the pitch. It's an absolute circus. Who in their right minds would want to come to us right now when we can't even sort out our transfers? It's embarrassing. The head coach is constantly coming out against the board, out against the owners. It just stinks. It really stinks, and it's just makes us look pathetic, makes us look a joke, and it's just making the whole club so toxic. We really need someone to just come in, a new figurehead as manager, and just bring some positivity around the place, just change things, and hopefully just get some results for see us get rid of this toxicity. It's not nice to hear the Venky's out chants circling around Ewood again. Not that I disagree, but who in their right mind would buy us? We're a club that just bleeds money, and fair play to them, they have kept us afloat, but that is as far as my kind of gratitude goes with Venky's. They have kept us afloat, and that is about it. And it's from their own doing, the reason why we are in the position we are. It's just, they've bought a club which they had nothing, they bought a club which they essentially wanted to treat as a trophy, treat as a means of breaking into the UK to sell their chicken. Didn't have a clue how to own a football club or even know anything about football. And obviously we're took for mugs by Jerome Anderson and whatnot. Need not to go into that, but I think it is time. But then again, I think it was time under Coyle when we got relegated and it never happened. So, I can't see it happening. I can't. But yeah, something needs to change. Maguire falling through would be an absolute sickener. But we cannot persist the way we are under JDT, unfortunately. It's a shame it's not worked, but he's obviously been sold a dream, and we haven't kept our side of things in terms of the money he'd be receiving, in terms of the backing. And I think it's clear to see he's fed up. And I question at this point whether we can actually afford to sack him, because it seems to me he's not going to walk, even though to save his own reputation, I think he has to at this point. So we'll see who's in charge next Saturday. I hope for the club's sake, I hope for JDT's sake it's not him. And I hope we can actually start to get some results together, because, like I said, 2 points from these last 3 games is horrendous. And at any other club in the league, any other club in the 92, I think, this run of form would see a manager sacked. and it's just simply the fact that we cannot afford to sack managers. Why JDT is still in a job. You know, you look at the runs Mowbray had, and we never pulled the trigger because we couldn't afford to sack him. We didn't even have the decency of telling Mowbray we were going to renew his contract or not renew his contract. And that just kind of shows where we are as a club in terms of how we're being run. It's farcical. But then, you know, we're not taking money for players like Gallagher, who've underperformed for, 4 or 5 seasons now. He's a top earner on 15k a week. And yeah, we've rewarded his underperformance with a contract, 2-3 years ago now on top earner salary. What message does that send to the other players? It's beyond me. But yeah, let's hope for a result on Saturday. It's much needed. And let's hope for some fight and some passion to come from somewhere else. I do feel we are going down.